budget hearing, September 11th, 2025. Counselor Smith,
Here.
Walton,
Here.
Online's out, and Brandon's out, and Harden.
Here.
Yeah, come on down, Nick. No need to sit all the way down there. All right, obviously we have one agenda item, which is 030925, request for consideration of the 2025-2026 budget presentation coming to us from our city manager, Mr. Adams. Tonight we are hearing from courts, traffic, and public works parks. Laura is gonna lead us off because she called it. She dibbed it right at the beginning, so she's our first up. And I will say, for those who did not get to attend, Jennifer, Alex, Walter, and and Nick went to, and JJ and Glenn and Ben went to the 9/11 ceremony in Vestavia this morning. And number one, it was inside, which was nice. But two, the speaker, Rear Admiral retired Kent Davis was the speaker. Fantastic. And it was just a really well done day and very, very moving. And Brandon Broadhead brought up the fact that next year is the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and Homewood will be hosting the ceremony next year. It is our turn. So
Debate on whether it should be outside or inside, considering the air conditioning.
It
yeah,
was very
the air conditioning was nice. I don't know that we have a space that quite.
Yeah, we don't have a space.
We don't have that kind of space, but it sure would be nice because it sure was pretty
that video.
and
Man.
cool. Oh my
Like,
god! I just immediately started
I
crying.
was bawling the whole
Seemed,
time.
seemed like last time in Vestavia, it was really hot. Yes, really hot.
Well, when Bo and I got there, we both thought it was on the green where it's always been,
Right.
and somebody behind us was like, "No, it's in the Civic Center this year." We were like, "Score!" But it was really well done. They did a really good job. So, hate that y'all had to miss that.
They had a budget amendment to do sales in the front, so you have shade.
Yeah. We'll put a pin in that one. All right. We are going to kick off with Miss Laura Roberts, our court administrator, who is doing a bang up job since she has come in. And you do not have to sit, but Kale had this chair the other day. Unless you want to sit down.
Oh, I'm good.
Usually people don't want to. All right. He was just doing that because he had to run his computer. Okay.
So
All
my
right.
portion won't take long, that's why I wanted to go first. If we can go to the very first slide. So the personnel requests that I have this year. The first one's gonna be a full-time warrant officer. I don't know if you all are aware, I know Barry is because you've sat in a couple of meetings. When I first started, we have 12,876 warrants, which is a lot of warrants for our city, okay? I've been doing a lot of recalls and cleaning those things up. However, we still have a whole bunch of them and a lot of them need to be served. The police department doesn't have the manpower or time to dedicate to a warrant officer. This summer, they gave me a couple of people, that was the SROs. They gave us 2 people who went out and started hitting it really good, serving warrants, which worked out great. But then all the protest things happened and they had to move them back to their special assignments. So I'm asking that we have a dedicated full-time warrant officer to try to help clear those warrants up. The more we can get those cleared up and get the people brought in and bonded out and get them to court, we can clear up their cases. Unfortunately, that is not something that the court can pay for though, because it is part of the police department. They would be sort of reporting to me, kind of going by my schedule. They will help with court and things like that, but they cannot be funded by the court because they are an employee of the police department. So that's my first request. The second request is court security. We are in dire need of a bailiff. I want to do a full-time bailiff if possible. It's not funded right now. I know it was at one point. We've been using police officers as extra duty. And so a lot of them are kind of wanting to get away from that. So I'm asking for that. I would pay for that 50% out of the corrections jail fund and 50% out of the court corrections fund. So I'm not asking for that to come out of general fund at all. The last one.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to jump because you said that you've been using the sworn officers to fill that role,
Mhm.
but that they require a minimum of 5 hours,
They
even
do.
if it doesn't take 5 hours.
Right, and then it's all overtime too, which is hurting their budget.
Got it.
Yeah. The next one is full-time court clerk. It is already funded, and I'm just asking that we keep it funded so I can fill it for next year. That's why that's up there. Because that's one of the positions I don't have filled yet. Kind of been busy, so I haven't been able to really interview and fill that position. So I'm just asking that y'all please keep that funded for me next year, because I really do need that position funded.
And would that be hired through the personnel board?
It would be.
Do we know if there's a list of people?
There is a list.
Okay.
There's a list, a very long list.
It's a very long list.
It's a
Okay.
very
Well, I
long
mean, a
list.
very long
So
list is
that's-
better than a very short list.
Yes, so that's one of the other reasons why I haven't moved forward, because it's going to take me some time, and right now I just have not had the time to do that. So I'm just asking that y'all please keep it funded for me, because I really do need that.
Okay. And back up to the warrant officer.
Yes.
You gave us some pretty big numbers when we had our initial meeting. Remind us how many outstanding warrants, you said 12,000?
It was 12,876 to begin with. We are now to about 9,000, a little over 9,000 now. It's just a process. The warrants are so old and they go way back. When I printed our case docket, or our caseload the other day, we had over 22,000 outstanding cases. So I'm doing my best to try to clear all that up. Having a warrant officer dedicated full-time to help us would be tremendous, and we can get it done a lot faster.
Okay.
And is that, their job is strictly to serve warrants on people?
It would be to serve warrants and to help the court security bailiff person in court, so we wouldn't have to use someone from the police department off the street or have them come in anymore. We would use both the full-time warrant officer and the bailiff as our court security that we need.
Do we have to also hire a bailiff from the Jefferson County Personnel Board?
Yeah.
We do.
But you said those people, it's typically kind of maybe like retired.
It is.
Police
It is.
officers and
Mhm.
that kind of thing. Yeah, people that have been in law enforcement but maybe aren't anymore.
And so, and the reason why I'm asking to pull somebody from the police department on full-time warrant detail is because it needs to be somebody that is a veteran with the city, who knows the rules and regulations, who knows the people of the city and knows how to get around it. I don't want anybody brand new doing that, because there'll be a lot of training and things like that. I'd rather take someone we already have, but then that makes them short a spot, so.
But I guess technically, the full-time warrant officers, that's coming out of, that would actually be in the police department's budget. And I don't think.
Yes. And then, if you saw the email that I sent out,
Yeah.
that was a mistake that I didn't add it into their, was.
To their personnel requests.
Right.
Right, because technically it's their personnel request, even though
It is,
they're gonna be
but-
working for you.
But I
A lot
wanted
of
to
the
justify
times-
the request.
Yeah, right,
A lot of the times in other cities, you'll see this as a marshal
yeah,
or something like that, and that way it's defined as a slightly higher, it's not the entry-level position, it's equivalent of a corporal or a sergeant. And the expectation is to be self-motivated to solve all these issues and work on their own and be able to coordinate for additional support when it's needed with the police department, and having the experience and knowledge of the community and the department itself. So you tend to steal somebody from inside the organization to fill this.
Yeah. All right, any other questions about that? All right, next slide. Okay. I'm asking for permission to use $10,000 of court funds, not general fund, to buy some new office furniture for some broken and outdated pieces. Just because I'm asking for $10,000 doesn't mean I'm going to spend it. I will probably spend a lot less. One thing to know about me is I'm very frugal, okay? But there are a lot of things we do need in the office. Some things are broken, the chairs need to be replaced, so I'm asking to use the court funds for that. My capital budget request, I had asked about this in the preliminary budget hearing, is to spend up to $45,000 on a vehicle for the court. Again, that will be coming out of court funds, not general fund. So it's earmarked funds that would be used. Any questions about that?
Do you have a city car now?
So I have an older Ford Fusion that will be then transferred to the on-call magistrates. So
Okay.
I'll start at on-call rotation once they get completely trained.
Yeah.
And they will be using that, so we're not billing the city for any mileage.
Okay, and that, by the way, we approved the new magistrates, when was that?
It was,
June?
yeah, it was at the beginning of June.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and apparently that's going very well, so, well done.
How many, out of curiosity, how many nights a week are the magistrates in in Homewood, or coming from their house to Homewood or place of
It depends on how
business?
busy the police department is.
Okay.
Right now, it's me doing it because I'm still training them, and there's some nights where I'm out here 2 or 3 times a week, and on the weekends, and sometimes there's none at all because they don't do any
Gotcha.
rest through the night that requires
I
us.
just-
But we are on call 24/7, we're required to be.
Okay, that's the reason I asked, is because is it worth, you know, the expense of the vehicle versus just paying for the mileage? So, I assume we did, you check that, if they're only in here once a week or every other week.
Well, I think, so her plan is that she's gonna shift the car that she's driving
To
to
the
them.
magistrates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
understand
then
that.
the new car is actually for her.
Right,
Oh, you're
I'm
saying.
angling to retire the old car.
Oh, you're trying to get the
That's-
the car
So
going.
it might self-retire soon anyway.
Okay.
So, and if that is the case, that is something that I will come back to you all, and we will look at numbers, because at least a good 6 to 8 month worth of numbers I'd like to get to see how
Yeah.
often they are coming out, because it may benefit just paying mileage
Yeah.
and not getting an additional car.
Less
But
maintenance, less liability.
yeah,
all the
but
things.
the Fusion may be self-retiring anyway pretty soon, so.
I heard Fusion and I was like,
Yeah.
they make that
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
We got wrecked a couple of years ago.
yeah.
Your team borrow it? Yeah, it just had to get you there, Bert.
All right, any other
That new department closer to her.
Any other questions about these?
No.
All right, my last slide. See, I told you I'm pretty quick. All right, fine schedule. I put this in here. This is not a request for things that I need, but this is something that I would like for you all to consider. One of the things I've been doing is looking at the fine schedule that we currently have, and it is very outdated, extremely outdated. So we kind of put some comparisons right now. The maximum amount of fine for these offenses and other ordinance offenses is $100, and that's it. I'm asking that you all approve an ordinance to be put in place to update what we have and make a maximum fine of $500. That would give us the leeway to go up to $500 if it's warranted. Not every case is going to be warranted to go up to $500. When it's capped at $100, we have folks like the gentleman that was in court yesterday who has had cases since 2013, almost every single year, for the same exact ordinance violation. And the $100 just hasn't phased him at all. And so if we hit him with a $500 fine, then maybe he will stop doing the things he's doing and keep his stuff cleaned up. So that is my recommendation. Again, I don't want to put a cap and say this is what you do have to charge. I would like for it to say a maximum of $500, because there's going to be instances where someone can't afford a $500 fine and other circumstances, and we would like to have that leeway. Okay. Recommended parking fines. Right now, the parking fines are like $5 and $10, which is crazy low.
Yes.
I'm recommending a $100 fine for parking offenses, except for blocking the fire lane and the fire hydrant. Most cities, those are $250. And then handicap parking violations, every city that I've contacted, their fine is $500 for that. So that's the fine schedule that I'm recommending. We don't have a lot of parking tickets right now. We don't have a lot of handicap parking, but I'd like for this to be in place just in case we start having those come in and have those issues.
Well, we are gonna have traffic officers, so.
Yeah, and
I mean,
things
not
like
traffic, parking officers.
high fines like this will deter folks from either committing the offense in the first place, or if they do them one time, then they won't do it again.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of this. It's not to just hammer out fines. It's really to try to make a difference and prevent further actions.
Walter, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Since this is not actually a budget item, but an item that, is that something that we would go ahead and need to put on an agenda to approve so that she can go ahead and get that into place?
Yep.
It's an ordinance. Anything you have to enforce is an
Right, is it by
ordinance.
ordinance, yeah.
But
Can you do it in one fell swoop for everything, or does it have to be individual?
I think we could do
I
it.
think,
one fell
I
swoop,
think
right?
this goes in a full
It-
list of
it
them
is.
that has additional stuff on it from state, et cetera, so it's just adopting the full thing.
Yeah.
But the reason why I have it with this is I like to have all the fees, fines, et cetera, in the budget also, so people have one-stop shop to know where to look for everything. So eventually, I see the permitting and everything else changing their fee schedules over time to match a percentage of what it takes to maintain the manpower they have to do it. A certain amount of that should be shown in the budget to show how that is covering down on the costs of the people that we have
Okay.
I do have a question.
A lot of these might be in separate ordinances, so, you know, we're gonna have to.
Like some of them might be for a
address each
parking
one
ordinance and then.
update the numbers and
Okay.
passing placement.
So do we need to go ahead and get that on the referral agenda to go to public safety?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be where we would?
Could we do a catch-all ordinance that establishes a fine schedule?
If it's broken up into multiple ordinances, I think you would have to repeal
Okay.
that
Yeah, you have
and
to
then
repeal
create
that
the new
ordinance
one.
and replace it.
Either way, I think we're probably, and with Mike out until some point next week, I would say go ahead and stick it on the committee referral agenda, and then when Mike gets back, we can go through them and see how we need to maneuver that. And we may end up with multiple ordinances, or we may end up with one, yeah.
I do know these top ones were in one section, so that's a good thing, and then the parking.
Yeah, I don't
will be
think,
somewhere else.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be, I'm confident it's not gonna be that many ordinances, but
No,
but there are gonna be some that are grouped
Yeah,
together.
it was a group of them,
Yep.
and so.
Okay, so, our agenda's already done for Monday night, but we're gonna get that added in.
So does this come
Other
in
than-
Yeah, as long as we
front
get
of
it
the
added
court?
for
Yeah.
March.
If I do a building violation, it comes in front of your court?
So
I'll get a permit or
the
something.
code enforcement officers, they work with people first and try to get everything cleared up first and handle it on their end. The only time it comes to me is when someone fails to comply after warning after warning. Then
Okay.
it comes to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that was strange. Okay,
Yeah.
now that makes sense.
Yes.
Carlos?
I guess I would feel more comfortable if we had some kind of sort of comparables to compare with other cities. I feel somewhat uncomfortable with the notion that we would just do uniform fines, because all of these things look different to me in terms of severity of
Okay,
issues.
so.
You might have missed
came
that
in-
part.
Yeah, you missed
Yeah,
that part.
you missed the part
This
that you
is,
explained
this
before, yeah.
is asking for a maximum cap. It's not saying this is going to be the fine. It gives us some leeway for the severity and the number of offenses and things like that to go from $100 to $500, like in between there. But we're asking for you to take out the fine, the set fine of $100, and put that the maximum fine is $500. You can't go over that, but it can be definitely below that.
Yeah, like it could be $50 or it could be
Correct.
$500 depending on the severity of the offense. And
Yeah.
she did do research to compare what the other cities around us were doing in terms of fines.
And most of theirs just say maximum fine. There's no mandatory, and it just says $500 maximum.
Yeah, I don't know, I just feel, let's be honest, a little uncomfortable, because unless we have specifications as to what requires a 50 versus 100 versus 250 versus 500, I don't know.
So that gets into the judge's discretion, and he takes all the things into consideration, like how many times someone's been before him for that type of offense, what the offense is. Those are the things that would be considered before a fine is rendered.
And so most of this is our city employees have dealt with them.
Right, they,
First.
yes, sir, they deal with
This
them
is
way
when
before it ever
someone's-
comes to me.
Someone
Yes.
comes because they are just continuing not to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like you said about the guy who just has continued to commit the same offense over and over again because that $100 fine
think
is just,
he's
he's
in our
walking right
section.
through it.
And
Yeah.
even though he's had all of those throughout the years, this particular recent time, he was still notified and given, I think, 2 or 3 months to clean up what he needed to clean up before it even got to me again. So they still give people ample time to clean things up, to do what they're supposed to do, to get their permits and things like that before they come run into me.
Yeah, some of the issue is that some people just see this as, if the maximum is so low,
Yeah.
some people just see it as, oh, well, no big deal, I'm willing to pay $100 to
Yes.
not have to cut my grass for the next year, right? It's sort of like when parking is low, I mean, you look at it as the cost of parking.
Yeah,
right?
$5 $5 fine
That's
is
a
fine.
different situation, but yeah, you know, I'll pay $5 to park and get the ticket.
But I
And
think
the same
that
thing gets
people in
true of
poverty,
the
though,
being
$100 is just as bad as $500. Sociological studies will show you, study after study, increasing fines only makes people poorer and doesn't actually change behavior. And so, those are the issues that, based on actual poverty studies, these things don't actually help change behavior, it only impacts. Now, I'm saying parking in terms of $5, $10, that seems extremely low. I understand that.
Sure.
But I don't think, and I don't want to sign on to the notion that increasing $500 is actually gonna be a behavior changing mechanism, but that's what the council decides, that's fine, I just wanted to say that. I
Okay.
don't necessarily believe that.
Fair point. And I will say, we'll have a much more robust discussion of this when we get it into committee, into public safety. So we'll get that on the agenda, and then we can have a full discussion in your committee meeting.
Is there an ordinance for blocking or not parking on sidewalks?
I believe that should already be in our parking ordinance. So that's the fine would encompass everything except for those three things. Those three items, every city considers to be super important, because it is. You don't want to block a fire lane, you don't want to block a fire hydrant, and it's terrible to park in handicap parking unless you're actually handicapped. So.
Is it fair to say that some of these are more residential related fines and some of them are more, business fines in categorizing them, obviously? I mean, you have erosion sediment control, business license ordinance.
Right, so I just took a little section of what our ordinance already was, or the ordinance fine schedule already was, and increased it. So this would be, I'm asking for all the ordinance violations, no matter what they are, to have just a cap of 500. They could be fined anywhere from $1 to 500. That's all we're asking. We're asking to not tie our hands and only do it 100 for those that repeatedly come in and do the things that they're doing. Because, like the mayor said, that it's $100 fine to some people is like, it's just nothing. And like Councilman said, sometimes that's a big deal. $100 is a big deal. But the great thing about the judge is he can take all those things into consideration. If someone is actually indigent where $100 would hurt them, he may not find them at all. But capping it at $100 kind of hurts the process of punishing those that continue to snub their nose and do what they want to do.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other budget items? That was it. Okay. So we'll make sure that gets on the agenda to go to public safety, and that was painless.
Thank you.
Pretty painless.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Laura. And you don't have to stay unless you just want to. Okay. All right. Randy?
All right, mine's gonna be shorter than hers. First thing's gonna be a automatic gate for our building. Right now, we share our building with the police department. They have a tactical room, they also have storage. They have a garage up there where they store confiscated vehicles. Right now, we just rely on a gate with a padlock. So we need something where we can actually have a keypad so that they can have access, on the weekends, at night, stuff like that. So,
Is that more for the police department?
well, it's gonna be shared between us and them, so, I mean,
I'm just saying on weekends and nights, that's the police department, not your department.
right. I mean, we do come in weekends and nights, but they're the ones that's gonna, at times need access to get in there. And, I just hate the way we do it now for them to need access to their tack room or something that's going on and them not be able to get in there, so. Second thing is, of course, what we ask for every year, and that's to upgrade traffic signals, the controllers. We've got electronic equipment in our traffic cabinets that date back to the late 90s. So every year we try to keep upgrading things and try to keep up with it. So that's the 75,000 for that.
And I can't remember, Randy, did any of your costs come out of any of the special funds or no?
Yeah, we
okay.
have stuff
4
that
and
comes
5.
out of 7 cents.
7 cents,
Right.
okay.
And then the last thing is a vehicle that sat down at the garage for about 6 months. They was unable to get parts for, and we ended up just surplusing it.
Is that it?
That's it. I told you it was gonna be short.
I thought you were about to say next slide. I'm like, there's no other slide. That's it. Wow, Randy, you do get a gold star today. All right. And is the vehicle, is the pickup truck, is that just for use by everybody, or is it?
That would actually, it was actually my take-home vehicle that got surplus. So right now, I'm driving a big shop truck.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so yeah.
All right. Well, that was easy peasy. Thank you, sir.
Randy.
I think that does absolutely set a record.
Deny.
Okay. Mr. Squires, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we're out of money, Berkeley, sorry.
You want me to bring my chair?
You just blew it out, man.
That's why he went first.
Okay, you gonna do public works first?
Yeah, I'll do public works first. Starting off, and I know most of you, Tuesday night, Kel went through, and this was in that number, but the 2 million, as most of you know, we're over on Citation, and that building was built in '84. And other than the busted pipes where we had to replace the floor and with the freeze a couple of years ago, I'd like to get in there, renovate it, but the main thing is to build some covered metal covers for our vehicles and equipment. I mean, you know, we've got a lot of good equipment now that we've finally got caught up with. It's sitting out in the weather 365 days a year. And so now that we've got that empty lot where we tore the old BEZ building down, I've got Kel, we were discussing and talked with Alex about making that one piece of property, and that way we can L-shape into it and utilize it to put the covers and all for all the equipment to go under. But that's the main issue on that. Also to remodel the restrooms, upgrade them to meet ADA standards, things like that, because currently right now we don't, and to enlarge the locker room for the guys and the ladies.
Did y'all take your field trip down to Alabaster?
We did, and they have real nice, most of you know, Fred Hawkins is the public service director down there in Alabaster, and they just opened up a $5 million environmental and public works facility down there that they done with the metal buildings. And they have a very nice setup down there. I mean, everything they've got is either covered or enclosed, and did a very good job of it, so it was very nice and all. So, but that was of course the big one on this one, in which Kel went through it the other night. The other is this year, with us being able to get the patching and paving equipment we got through the 7-cent gas tax. The only two pieces of equipment we got is a small dingo grappler, which is, for most of you don't know, it's a 30 to, what size is yours, 33?
I think so.
We're trying to get one a little bit smaller to get in the ditches behind the houses. We don't have a piece of equipment right now. Give you an example, I had 9 guys digging out a ditch for 3 days last week. That's, you know, built up with sediment that was about 26, 28 inches deep. And so these little machines get in, they're kind of, if you've seen them, you stand on the back of them, operate them with the little joysticks, but it has a little front end machine. You can grappler things, and also it's got a little scoop thing. But it enables us to get behind houses along in Edgewood and back up in there that right now we don't have a way to get any type of equipment in there. So, and then the other one is a another little mini X. Right now, we're in a position, and I shared with the mayor earlier, right now we've done 62 sidewalk repairs this year of literally 5 foot or more. And we've done 15, we'll be through with our 15th ADA ramp that we've done in-house this year. And so this would actually give us the opportunity to utilize 2 crews. Right now we have to swap, because once one gets through digging and we get everything lines located and all that with 811, and then the other crew will get it, and then we have to move it back and forth across town. So this would enable us to have the 2 crews basically doing sidewalks, gutters, and curbing all by themselves with those crews. So that's the 2 pieces of equipment this year. And then the last thing, which I'm hoping
other than maybe, on down the line, a year or two, another one. We're replacing 3 trucks that we had a 97 model, I think a 01, and then we had to surplus a 2015 Dodge, that we couldn't get the parts for it anymore on it. So I'm asking to replace those 3, and those are all vehicles that we use every day. We pull the trailers with them and that. So that's all of my capital budget requests for Public Works this year. So y'all got any questions? I'm glad to.
I just want to say that 62 segments of sidewalk 5 feet or more, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you. I mean, I saw them around the schools,
Yeah.
during the summer. I mean, it's fantastic.
We've got 2 crews now that have really, we did a little bit of training with Gossett Construction, who kind of does some of our bigger projects that y'all seen and approved over the years. And it's helped our guys, because I don't know if most of you know, but over the last 4 or 5 years, both of my departments have kind of flipped. I went from having guys with 35 and 40 years to my senior guy now has got 22 years. So I got a lot of younger guys that are in. And so it's helped. Ned and Roger have been wonderful. They let the guys come out and work with them on their projects that they're doing and help them out. So, but having these guys now being able to do it, I mean, we've got a running list that, I'll be honest with y'all, we didn't do any sidewalk repairs for probably 2 or 3 years because we just had the manpower. And so now being able to do that, it's really, they've been able to knock out a lot. I will say this, they have done a hell of a job doing repairs. And I know most of you know we've got quite a few more, so we're excited about that, but that's the main thing for us this year, so.
Is curb repair in that also?
Yes.
I get requests for curb repair
Yes.
a lot too.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of our curbs are, they're like the sidewalks, they're old and,
Cracking.
things, so we try to go in, they've done a good job with those. We kind of did a priority list of getting try to get as many of the sidewalks that we consider safety issues, as well as tying them in with the ADA ramps and getting those done. So, but yeah, that's where we're at this year on the capital request for Public Works.
And I don't know if we can quantify it, but the fact that y'all are able to make those repairs in-house and do the ADA ramps in-house, it's gotta be saving us money.
But most of the
from hiring
time,
another
it
contractor.
costs us about $2,500 to $3,000 to work on a 10 to 15 foot section of sidewalk. And normally we're gonna pay about $6,500 to $7,000 to have it repaired.
Okay.
So it's about twice as much to do
Yeah.
that, so.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
It's okay. We had talked about the asphalt, machine.
Yes,
What?
it'll be here in January.
Okay.
We'll get it in
Yeah, we already
January.
approved that
So
one.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it was in the 7 cent that
That's what I-
must have
that's
worked
what
with me
I
on,
wanna
so
make
yeah.
sure that-
We got the little,
Excavator.
excavator, and then we got the dump truck, we've got those.
Okay.
So the truck, the patching truck, and it's, as I told y'all in the meeting that day, it's an 8-ton. Right now, our trailer is just a 4-ton, but the heating element in the backside of it, so we really only get about 2.5, 3 tons heated and all now. So it'll allow us to go out and do full jobs all day long, but we can't do it right now, we get about 4 hours.
For clarification, when you have extra money in these accounts, specialty accounts like 7 cent, the intent was to try to get as close to zero on those accounts as you could. That's why we came early to you
Yeah.
to try to get this. And it beats the rush when you hit 1 October and all other municipalities to try to order it. So that's why it came early.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, thank you. And that's all I got on the capital for Public Works. And Park. You go ahead, Brian. We'll start with Park. I know there was one item or 2 items that Kale covered with y'all the other night. The pickleball courts over at West, and then also the $500,000 on the design for the upgrades and things at the senior center. Most of this stuff here is kind of some things. We've got to redo the gym floors at the community center. I'm sure most of you that your kids have played. Every year we have to come in and sand those down.
Smells
and
great.
Put the gooey stuff back on top. Well, they've reached that. We actually have gone 2 years past the life cycle. So they'll come in and basically strip it down all the way to the bare wood. And then we'll replace, there's some parts in there from a leak that we've got to redo, but that'll get both gyms there at the community center done. Also replace the 4 shades at the central pool, get those done. Of course, our central clean out, we always do it and all. The other big ticket item this year for central is both bridges. The wood has deteriorated to a point we've got to replace those. And so I'm working with, oh God, what's the name of Corey and them's Pennington Group. We're trying to get to see if we can get the deck stuff.
The tech deck or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it's called, and all to put in there. We were working with them to try to figure out if that's something that, the length of it is the issue that we're running into right now, but we're trying to find a company that we can use that decking board to go in there.
Have y'all been over to the new bridge on Jemison Trail?
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
it's all
that's
the
it.
tech deck
Yeah,
stuff.
it is. And so
That's
we're
pretty
hoping
long.
we can get them to be able to cut to that specification in there. The other part is, we wanted to start, hopefully, with y'all's approval, renovating the 2 bathrooms there at Central. We're gonna do the women's first, and then next year we'll ask for the men's side. We're basically gonna go in there and gut them and redo the lighting, the toilets, everything in there. I mean, it's, we've painted and scraped and painted till basically there's not a whole lot left. But that's to do the women's side and all this year, and then we'll do the men's next year. Going down on the equipment, of course, most of you know, that's just the our landscape equipment. We're replacing our 2012 zero-turn units. They've got about 5,000 hours on them, so getting those. The 2 carts, there's one for the ball field maintenance, and then the other will be placed in the new facility on the walking trail.
What are carts? I mean, I know
Little-
what a
like-
cart is.
like
but-
little
Little
gators.
Oh,
Like
okay.
little
yeah,
gators.
yeah, okay, yep,
Little
yep.
gators. To use those to haul trash with and all on the trail. And then 1 dump trailer, ball field crew is asking for a dump trailer on theirs. We need to replace our stand-on blower. It's a 2010 model. So we're looking to get it surplused and gone. The pool vacuum, we're gonna get a remote pool vacuum, kind of similar, if any of you've seen the mowers and the ball field striper, we use remote now. And so the pool vacuum will be the same, it's the same model as those are. Then we'll get 1 stand-on mower that we'll place on the walking trail that will be used year-round on it. We gotta replace our sprayer that we spray all the parks with. We've got 4 guys now that are certified. They have their spraying license, so that enables us to do that in-house instead of having to bid that out. And then 1 Connex storage building to put down at the West Homewood Athletic Complex to store some baseball equipment with baseball and also with our stuff. And the last thing is the 3 vehicles that we have for, most of you know, we used to use we had the big international trucks that had the beds on them. And all of those, except 1, has ventured its way out of service now. So they were great trucks, but they're kind of big, and for what we're running now, we really don't need that big a truck. We use the trailers, and we kind of, other than the 2 zero-turns, we've gone to the stand-on mowers because they're easier to access onto the medians and stuff like that than the zero-turns are. So we've gone to those. So just the 3 trucks to replace those. They pull all the trailers and things like that. So, and that's all I had on the capital for park.
Berkeley?
Yes.
You know, we talked about doing a litter getter in the creek.
Yes,
Is that on here?
it's in the contractual
In contractual services, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's,
In Griffin Creek?
Berkeley,
yeah.
Overall, the
Big
new
question, like,
section.
I don't know, we've done that,
No.
like more shading in Patriot Park.
The third one?
Yes.
No,
Where do you want to put it?
really?
Wherever we can.
Yes.
It's something that we're, it kind of, I told Glenn, I kind of did a 5 and 10 year plan on our parks. And I will tell you, next up for the park board and I is Overton and Woodland,
Okay.
is to get those two kind of back brought up.
And I mean more for the pool, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Patriot Pool.
I'll look into it. Our biggest issue there is having the core drill into that concrete,
Uh-huh.
and that becomes an issue. And but I'll look into it.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
so it's something we'll definitely look into. But as far as the parks and stuff, I'll tell you, Overton and Woodland's our next two on the
Yeah,
list.
and I
to kinda
meant,
grab
and I
all
meant to
of.
say the shading for the
And I'll-
pool at
yeah.
Patriot, sometimes becomes an
Okay.
issue now, how to get something.
And it does. I mean, we have so many people now. I mean, I think this year Rusty was still running the numbers, but I think we had about close to 18% increase at Patriot Pool than what we had the year before.
It was
That's
patchy.
great.
It was.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It's
Yeah.
great.
So, I mean, most of our stuff, as most of you know, I mean, we've got, we got 515 kids playing flag football this year. We, this is only our 4th year. We had 900 and, I believe it was 912 playing basketball last year. Soccer's got, I think, close to 1,500 this fall. Pee Wee football's back over 100 and something kids. Lacrosse is over 100. Our girls volleyball's pushing 110. So, those are, a couple of those, we've only had around 2 or 3 years. So, I mean, our numbers for our youth athletic programs are out the roof. So, it's done good, but, again, just trying to, I think with most of this stuff, most of our lifespan on our mowers and stuff, we try to go 8 to 10 years is what we try to get out of our mowers if we can. Some we do, some we don't. But most of the stuff, most of our stuff we do, usually on equipment wise, it's a 7-10 year life cycle on those that we try to maintain with.
Can you tell us about, I know we talked about this, Overton Park and.
Yes.
And but I know we've had a request on that, we're gonna look at that next year.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
budget,
correct.
so,
Yeah.
okay.
It's kind of, if we had, we put in a new playground, I think back in 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
And, I think for it, it's kind of, I'm gonna work with a landscape architect, just kind of go through what we feel like and some needs there and take a look at it and kind of see where we're at. I know a couple of retaining walls and things that we want to redo and things like that. So, and then of course, Woodland, same thing. It's just kind of looking at it. They're both passive parks, so I mean, we don't want to, we're not looking to replicate what we've got at Central or at Patriot, but, we want to make it where people can walk and be able to enjoy. I think, I know the little pavilion there probably needs redoing. It's been there a long time. I think the benches and the picnic tables I put in when I came 17 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but, yes.
You just mentioned the landscape architect for Overton.
Yeah.
And I don't know if LMA has met with you yet, but I did mention to them about connecting for, because I know on that list that came through that some of it was landscape, and I wanted them to connect with you.
Yeah.
But if y'all already have somebody looking at that, I just wanted to
Yeah.
mention that
Okay.
as we were talking about it.
That's fine.
And then a couple of things that have been, like the Lee Center, I think there was some, as far as facility improvements, there were some ceiling tiles maybe that
Yes.
were replaced, but it was related to a leak. Is that
It's been
project fully
fixed.
funded and fixed?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been fixed.
Great. And then also Spring Park, the men's bathroom, I think was on fire.
It's open. The only thing we're left doing now is repainting the toilet and the urinal and the toilet and sink in the women's.
But
Other than that, it's-
funding isn't needed additionally to finish
I-
those projects.
Well,
I'm-
actually-
I'm actually coming to y'all,
Yes.
thing to finish, to get it. It was below our insurance amount that the insurance would give us.
Okay.
And what our cost is 25. I think it was like 21.3, but our level is 25.
Okay.
So, yes, I gotta come to you guys for that. But it has already been done and all, so it's finished. And other than, we use in those, most of you may or may not know, we use different type sinks and toilets and urinals in there. They're basically called like what they use in correction facilities. You know, they're
They're the
hard
metal
to stick
ones.
things down in them and all, things like that. It's hard to get sticks and stuff like that put in them. And that's, you know, you get all kind of things put in there, unfortunately.
I mean, I know that's a great one, you know, people end up renting the pavilion. I mean,
Yes.
it's really a great location,
Yeah.
and just maintaining it so we can continue to use it both as a community amenity
Yeah.
and a revenue generator.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanna make sure you got what you need to.
Yeah, no, that
to get
one,
it done.
we've been round and round with the insurance, and finally, they said this is what they had it posted at. You know, it's hard to deal with some of them. I mean, it's hard to find people to do small jobs. Most of these guys, you know, if it's not 50 or 1,000 or more, it's hard to get them to do. But we got a company that works with us pretty good on it, so they got it completed. We got both of them cleaned and repainted and petitioned, redone, and so it's good to go. You know, so
Well, thank you.
Yeah, they're ready. And that's all on the capital for the park. And I think operations wise, do you have it, Brian? Are they? Oh, operations wise, and they didn't send it, I do have a request in for some additional skilled labor positions.
Oh, yeah.
We are running about 8 people short of what we were in 2011 from the park maintenance and landscape side. I've asked for 4 full-time. 2 will basically work the trail. They will work it Monday through Saturday. So there will be somebody down, they will actually clock in at the new building when it goes into effect. And then the other 2 are to work, they'll be with our landscape crew mowing. And then we've asked for 1 to 2 skilled laborers in public works. And the ones in the park are not new. They are unfunded positions that have been on the books since I lost them back in 2010, 11, and 12. And back then, former mayor wouldn't let us fill those. So it's just coming back and asking for a few of those back. Now, the public works one, I mean, they're basically new ask, and that'll be up to you guys and Glenn if y'all want to do it, but it's basically to use on our right-of-way crew, which now we've got enough that we have a right-of-way crew that does some excess mowing, cutting back, things like that. So that was, other than that, the rest of it was pretty much, other than the CPI that we did across the board on utilities and stuff, everything else was about the same as it was this past year.
Those are in the budget, by the way.
Yes, they are in the request.
And what were the,
So I'm glad to make it onto the PowerPoint.
what was your revenue this year? Was that increased too with all the
I think
participation?
it was close, I think we touched $1 million, or right at it.
Wow.
So we were pretty close to it.
Yeah.
You know, we went up a few years ago. We have not increased our fees and all since I think we did it last in, I think it was before COVID. And all, we've kind of kept everything. So, but we do have a little bit more rentals coming, you know, with the West Homewood Athletic Complex and stuff out there. We do rent it out a lot more than, you know, what we had before. So, yeah, we've touched close to it or right at it. I think this was the second year we were right at $1 million. So pretty close.
I just want to thank you and your whole team, Berkey, because I know that having served here on 5 years, sidewalks, asphalt, the mowing, making our parks look great. Appreciate everything you and your team have done.
Well, I appreciate it. It's those guys. They've knocked it out of the park. We got, like I said, we've had some changeover, but they've done a good job, and you know, most of them are good guys, and they work hard, and you know, if we could just stay fully staffed, it'd be nice for more than a month. So, but we still got 2 openings right now, so if anybody knows if anybody needs a job, we hire them.
Has that smoothed out after sanitation?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have as many issues as we did. I mean, you know, most folks, I mean, it's, you know, it's whether or not you like to work out in the weather and the heat and the cold and things like that. So, you know, we've been pretty fortunate. You know, for a while there, we'd stay 5 or 6 openings. Right now, it's usually just 1, maybe 2. So right now, it's been a lot better than all there was, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. We couldn't get anybody.
Well, I mean, like, because like you said, now
Yeah.
Unlike years past, when
Yeah.
y'all could not do any sidewalk
No.
work because you didn't have the people.
We
Now
did.
you've got basically two teams
Yeah.
out there doing that, so that's,
It's a big difference.
It's progress.
You know, so we're getting, they're getting after it, so that's a good thing, so. But we appreciate all of your support and, you know, look forward to working with everybody moving forward, so.
Hiring out of the trash was a win-win-win still.
I mean, you know, again, I'll tell all of you, I mean, it's, you know, at the time, we didn't have a whole lot of choices. I mean, you know, when you got guys threatening to leave that didn't get hired to work garbage, I mean, they got hired to do construction work. I mean, but that's all we had to put on there, so, you know, I mean, I think things have smoothed out with them across the board. I mean, you know, we all knew there was gonna be hiccups in it, and, you know, but I think across the board, I think if you talk to the other cities that experienced it, Mountain Brook, Vestavia, Hoover, all of them, I mean, it's, you know, but they ran into the same thing we did. It was hard to hire people. And, you know, the CDL pool out there to get people that CDL license is hard, especially now with the changes that, you know, the state put on them to get them. It's, you know, we're fortunate now, we've got a guy in-house that's certified to do it. So we do our own in-house, and so basically what we've done is offer guys, if you'll come and do it, we'll pay for you to do it.
To get a CDL, you mean?
Yeah, you know, so we've got, right now, we've got 4 guys in what we call in the progression line. All they're waiting to do now is go take the driver's test in Tuscaloosa. They passed the written test, so.
And that's one reason why the sidewalks are getting done.
Yeah.
There's a direct correlation.
Yes.
It's because the sidewalk guys were the
Doing
replacements
trash.
for when we couldn't get the.
Right.
Most of
guys on
them-
the truck.
most of them were
And
driving.
So we couldn't get the sidewalks done, and we couldn't get the ADA stuff done, and so there's, you talk about it being a win-win, and I think you're right. There are multiple wins out of that, not the least of which is that the public works crowd gets to do what public works is supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
which gets our residents what they need more timely and better.
Yeah, the turnaround time for us now is a whole lot better than it was. I mean, you got guys now that you can send on a job and get it done, knocked out pretty quickly, so it's been a whole lot better. So, other than that, that's all I've got, unless y'all got anything.
does anybody else have any questions for Berkeley?
I will, real quick.
Okay.
Your guys are working the trail, guys, gals, people that are working the trail.
Yes.
Or wherever.
Yeah.
When if they do encounter some of our homeless folks that are, what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Is there a procedural thing?
Yes.
For those guys to,
Yes.
what is that? I mean,
Basically what we do, I mean, we try to work with the people that are out there and tell them they can't be there. I mean, my guys do it now. And, you know, some will oblige and some won't. When they don't, they call 911 and we let the police come down there. And once they move out, then we clean it up and move on. I do say this, I hope by having 2 people down there up and down it, we're gonna add some trash receptacles on it. I hope by having somebody down there all the time, I'm hoping it'll limit
I mean, you add that and you add
Yeah.
2 officers, now you
the
got
amount
4.
of, issues that we run into, So, I mean, it is what it is, but, you try to work with them as best you can. And most of the time, they'll move on along and they don't, bother anybody. You have the occasion that they'll tell you they're not leaving. So
Put
at
your
that point,
employees in
we kind of
danger
give it,
or-
They don't get, they're not going over there to confront them. They just tell them, hey, guys, y'all gotta move along. You can't be here. And usually most of them will move along, but then there's some, we had, about 2 weeks ago that we had to get the police involved. So, that's just part of it. So, but they've done pretty well with it.
Hey, Bill.
So,
All right.
but anyway, that's it.
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thank you, Becca.
Thanks, Berkeley. All right, we are, back here on the 18th, which is next Thursday. And we will be hearing from IT and Fleet, so we'll be hearing from, Brandon and, oh my God, what just happened to my, Gordon, no, not Gordon. Blake, sorry. No, Blake. What's Blake's, his
Graves.
real first name? No, what's his first name? Joseph, because everything always comes through Joseph Graves, and I'll have to in my brain go, wait, who's Joseph? Oh yeah, that's Blake. So we'll be hearing from Blake and Brandon on next Thursday, and, with that for tonight, we are adjourned.